One of my toxic personality traits is wanting to be the favorite of everything that I'm doing. So in every interaction, like going to restaurants, I'm like, I'm gonna be this waitress's favorite patron that she's ever had. I'm gonna be my doctor's favorite patient.
Right.
So,
is that hard in a rehearsal environment as an actor?
No. I don't want to be like the best actor. I want to be everybody's favorite, like, hang.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably pretty insufferable. Like, I feel like it makes me pretty good at reading the room and being like, here's what this person likes, here's what this person likes. I feel like it's something that I like recently realized about like why I am the way that I am. Is like, it's because I want people to walk away being like, man, she was my favorite person I've ever talked to.
How early did you know that you wanted to be involved in the arts?
As long as I can remember, I was going to be a singer and an actor and a model. Like, I was in choir as early as I can remember. And like, I think in 5th grade is when you can start choosing to be in choir and it's not just like your music class. So I did that, did theater all through high school, and then studied it in college. It's just like always something that I wanted to do. I think when I was a kid, I assumed everybody wanted to be an actor. I do remember the first play that I did where I was like this, and it was when we did The Wizard of Oz in 5th grade, and I was the Wicked Witch of the West.
That's a good part.
Great part. And I had my like big death scene, and I remember like melting off stage, and like I got like a round of applause after my death scene, and I was like, oh my gosh, they love me. College was hard. It was like right after my dad died from cancer, like that summer before I moved to Tucson to go to the U of A. So like I have this weird like blur of memories from my freshman year. It was really like tough emotional year. But I do love that like everybody that I was taking classes with like all had my same interests. It's kind of fun to find a bunch of people who are like just like you. So many like great memories of like working on shows as a freshman at the U of A, like where part of your class is like to be on the costume crew of a show or like on the stage crew of a show. I didn't have a car when I was in college, so I wasn't really that familiar with the community theater scene until the Rogue.
And how did that happen?
Nick Adams actually was doing a show called Cigarettes and Chocolate, and it was after 6 Characters in Search of an Author at the Rogue, and he asked me to run the like light board for that show. So I did that, and that's how I like learned about the existence of the Rogue, and I think I saw 6 Characters as part of that. I got to like go see that show, and then I started ushering at the Rogue in 2008. The snack bar, I was like in charge of running the snack bar for a while when we were partnering with Delectables.
I was going to say, was that during when we had kebabs?
It sure was. We had little like hummus boxes and stuff that we would sell.
Did we sell them?
I mean, they were available. Then started doing box office during show times. This will be my 2nd year working like full time just at the Rogue.
So can you crash me through your daily responsibilities?
The first thing that I do, like regularly if it's not a showtime, is check all of the voicemails and emails to see people who are wanting to buy tickets, make reservations for tickets, buy season tickets. I have several spreadsheets that I'm keeping updated at any given time with our season ticket holders on it, with our play reading season, fielding emails from ushers because I'm filling in the usher schedule for the first show of the season. During show times, at some point I transition into making the seating chart, putting on all the hoods, putting in all the little tags, the will call list, and then we open the doors.
What's the most challenging aspect of your job?
When we have a sold out show and people are continuing to call and wanting to come to that show, I also want them to be able to come to the show that they want to come to, and it pains me to have to tell people that it is sold out.
What's your favorite part of the job?
I like that I get to work with a lot of people that inspire me creatively. Yeah, I feel like I get a master class in like acting and directing and like stage managing just from like being around everybody.
So your first acting role at the Rogue was in the Oresteia. Mm-hmm. What was it like making that leap during the height of the pandemic?
It was wild. Such a strange experience because that was a show that from the beginning we knew we were not going to have an audience for.
Because that show was entirely filmed.
Yes. So we started blocking it to be filmed only, which was very weird. And it was a weird time because like we all, when we would come in, we couldn't really like be around each other. We all had like chairs that were then separated by chairs that we were like assigned to sit in, and we wore masks the whole time. We had to get COVID tested once a week and like report our results. This was like after the initial wave of COVID and like coming into like the Delta variant, where I think everybody was like, oh no, is this is just gonna be how it is forever? Yeah, so all of our blocking included that nobody touched each other at all, which was, it was just very atypical as an acting experience, but also what a ride, what a wild time.
After seeing so many plays at the Rogue, was there anything new or surprising you learned once you became a part of the actual process?
It was intimidating to come into, because it had been a while since I had done anything like acting wise, and like I was already such a fan of everybody who I was acting with. It was refreshing that like everybody else also doesn't just automatically know exactly what they are going to be doing, and like we all develop it together. It was nice to know that like, okay, I do belong here, like this is gonna be fine.
So you are one of 3 married couples who work together at the Rogue. What was it like having your husband, Matt, come on board as assistant house manager?
If he wasn't working there during show times, I would never see him because our schedules would be completely opposite. He's very calming and chill to be around as a person, which is good for house managing. So it's been really nice that when I go into like show mode, it's not like, all right, I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Right. So in the other Shannon's video, we talked a bit about the Shania.
Right. How can I encapsulate what is at once an organizational and logistical power duo and just like the bond of such a truly magical friendship? I hate the term work wife, but I mean, I truly see her some days more than I see my actual spouse. Our anxieties balance each other really well. Like if I'm anxious about something, it's usually not something that she gets anxious about, and vice versa. So we balance each other really well in that respect. And it's just been so fun that I get to go hang out and work with my best friend every day.
In this era of the Great Resignation, we've seen like a lot of turnover in the arts over the last couple of years. That hasn't been so much the case at the Rogue. What keeps you working there?
Everybody who works there is my friend and like somebody that I'm inspired by, which is really nice. I also am constantly offered opportunities to try new things. If I'm interested in acting, I've been able to do that. I got to assistant stage manage for a while last season and the season before, which was really fun. That was something I hadn't done before. Like doing the volunteer coordinating is something that's really fun. You know, when we were doing A Midsummer Night's Dream and we talked about doing something for like the faces of the fairies, Cindy was like, why don't you take that on? I'm constantly like offered new creative opportunities. So yeah, I don't know why I would go anywhere. It's
Right.
like the dream.
Those are all of my questions. Were you nervous at all?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I was making my coffee and I was like, all these questions are about you. You're gonna know the right answers. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. But like, did I wish that I had like 10 days with the questions? Yes.